Hey, you're skipping service? Elda's gonna get mad!
Oh, shut up. It's so boring.
Huh?
Those strange clothes. Who is he? Besides, even if I do pray, it won't ever change anything.
Hey, you call yourself a cleric?
Whatever, it's too nice to stay inside. It's a shame to waste such a nice day. Huh? What the? Why's the...
No! What's happening? No!
Wait! What's going on here?
Hexyz Force, or at least that's how I think it's pronounced, is a really unique RPG that hit the PlayStation Portable in 2010 in North America, and was developed by Sting and published by Atlus. I say it's unique because it's essentially 2 games in one. At the game's onset, you get to choose between playing as Cecilia or Levant, both of whom play completely differently, and have a completely separate cast of supporting characters. The stories told are even different, which is fantastic as the game itself is relatively short in terms of an RPG, so having the ability to experience 2 wildly different tales is fantastic. For this review, you're going to see gameplay from Cecilia's adventure. Regardless of which hero you select, the core gameplay does not change though. Players take on the role of a Hexyz, basically a divine soul that has abilities from their ancestors. Their mission is to ascend the Tower of Judgment and highlight the forces of creation or destruction, which will decide the future of the planet. Okay, so the story isn't all that original, but it's interesting enough for players to want to find out more. The animated cutscenes also help flesh out the plot and the world throughout the adventure, which is a bonus. In terms of gameplay, either of the main characters plays pretty much the same, they just react to their situations completely different. Both characters do eventually meet up at certain points in the storyline, but playing as each really does feel different, so it's really worth playing both adventures. You move your character around a full 3D environment and enemies can freely be seen on the world map. If you touch an enemy, you're sucked into classic JRPG battles. The combat system is simple, but very fun. Each character can equip up to 4 different weapons, and this is important as every weapon and ability features an aspect. An aspect simply means a different alignment. Crimson Lotus is stronger than Pearl Light, which is more powerful against Cerulean Flame. Think of it like rock, paper, scissors, or the weapon triangle from Fire Emblem, and you know what to expect here. What's neat is that you can freely change weapons before attacking enemies by just pressing left or right on the D-pad in the command menu window. Ragnafacts are special weapons that make use of Ragna points, which are limited, but you don't need to really worry about them as you gain new points for leveling up or restoring them at special force sites. They essentially add an element of strategy to long attacks. Speaking of long attacks, you will slowly fill up the force burst meter, which you see at the top left-hand corner of the screen. This meter can be stocked up to 3 times and allows you to pull off some truly impressive special attacks. You'll notice that's the second time I've used the word force, and that's because the force is strong with this one. No, I'm actually not joking around here, guys. The Force is actually featured in this game as an all-encompassing energy that binds the universe together. I kid you not. As you fight monsters, you earn Force points, which are directly tied into everything in this game. Want to learn a new weapon skill? You need to spend earned Force points to unlock said weapon skill. Want to unlock a new burst attack? You guessed it, you spend those Force points. You can even spend Force points to heal yourself while you're deep in dungeons, which is actually a good thing. Keep in mind that Force points are shared between the whole party, so you have to be wise about which moves you unlock. You can even increase the number of Ragna points characters have access to. Let's switch gears to dungeons. You have access to an excellent map system that even highlights where treasure chests are located. And I love little touches like that. On top of that, there's a nifty log that helps you keep track of what you need to do next, which is super useful if you can't play the game for a few days. Finally, there's a crafting system that allows you to make all manner of nifty items for use in battle, which is why you see me collecting a ton of really bizarre bat wings and the like. Weapons you craft don't use Ragna points, but can only be used a limited number of times. That's about all she wrote for the gameplay. It's fun, lasts for about 20 to 25 hours per scenario, and offers two completely different perspectives on the same world-defining narrative. The audio-visual presentation may look a little barren at times, but I really like what Sting did with this release. They pushed a fully 3D adventure onto fans, and it looks great. Everything from enemy designs to your protagonist are made up of polygons, as is the whole world. The anime cutscenes look great and the soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. The sparing use of voice acting also highlights key portions of the game, which is really nice. I have a soft spot for this game in my heart, as it does just about everything right. It may not be ultra innovative or an omega epic, but what it does well. Hexyz Force is becoming harder to find these days, with eBay copies going for about $30 and up used, and new copies hitting as high as $50. You'll likely be pleased to hear that you can buy the game digitally from the PlayStation Store for $14.99, and yes, it's compatible with the PlayStation Vita, so if you like what you're seeing here and think this might be for you, by all means, go ahead and pick it up. The PSP has no shortage of excellent role-playing games, and this is a rather unique one that's well worth your time.
Finally, a challenge!
I'll show you what I can do! Angelic beam!
Try this on for size! Air Render!
I'll show you what I can do! Angelic beam! Piece of cake!